The Borki train disaster occurred on October 29, 1888, near Borki station in the former Kharkov Governorate of the Russian Empire, present-day Birky, Chuhuiv Raion, Kharkiv Oblast, Ukraine, 295 kilometers south of Kursk. The Russian imperial family undertook an official trip around the Caucasus, which included stops at Tiflis, Batumi and Baku. On their way back they traveled by ship to Sevastopol, from where the family and their entourage boarded the train that was to take them to Saint Petersburg. The imperial family was en route from Crimea to Saint Petersburg. Contrary to railway rules of the period that limited commercial passenger trains to 42 axles, the imperial train of 15 carriages had 64 axles. Its weight was within the limits set for freight trains, but the train actually traveled at express speeds. It was hauled by two steam engines, a combination that caused dangerous vibrations that, according to Sergei Witte, directly caused the derailment. Technical flaws of the royal train were known in advance, yet it had operated for nearly a decade without incidents. On the morning of the 17th of October, the family were having breakfast in the dining car. The youngest of the emperor's children, 6-year-old Olga, was left with her nanny in the adjacent children's car. The train was traveling at full speed when it derailed near Borki, a small town outside Kharkiv. As the empress recalled in the letter to her brother, after a lot of rumbling and screeching, a deadly silence ensued, as if there was no one left alive. After colliding with the front carriages, the roof of the dining car began to collapse, and it was the emperor himself who, according to the official version of the events, held it up for several minutes, allowing others to escape. Little Olga had been thrown out of her carriage by the force of the collision and was found outside unscathed. Several standard carriages at the head end of the train carrying members of the imperial family's security team and other staff were impacted the most from the collision with the heavier imperial carriages. 21 people died at the scene and 2 later, with over 30 people injured. The emperor's beloved Siberian husky Kamchatka did not survive the crash either. It is impossible to imagine how horrifying that moment was when we all sensed the breath of death next to us. At the same moment we felt the greatness and the power of God. He stretched out his blessed hand over us. It was such a miraculous moment that I will never forget, just like I will never forget the feeling of bliss which I experienced when, finally, I saw my dear Sasha and all the children safe and sound, having reappeared one after the other from underneath the ruins. This is how Empress Maria Feodorovna, wife of Alexander III, described her feelings to her brother, George I of Greece, in a letter written a week after the infamous train disaster at Borki. The imperial family's survival was nothing short of a miracle, leading to a considerable religious upturn among the Russian population. Numerous churches and chapels were built across the country and multiple icons and iconostases were designed to commemorate the event. A temple was erected in Borki in 1893, which is only known from photographs and postcards as it was destroyed by the Bolsheviks in 1930. Alexander III became ill and died from kidney disease in 1894, with his death linked directly to the physical overexertion he experienced during the Borki crash.